We need to transform this country. When you hear people saying Ruto must go, it is not anything tribal. Some of us, we are Kalenjin. Right. And to be specific, I'm Nandi, the same tribe as William Ruto, because we no longer have a police service. What we have is a police force. You cannot abduct someone, take them to DCI headquarters, and claim to be a direct, you are is a police service.
Mimi ningependa kuambia saa ile wewe unafanya mambo ya mipango, kwa sababu mimi najua wewe ni msaidizi wa rais. Unajua ule mwenye alikuwa kwa hiyo ofisi kabla ufike, kidogo tulikosana naye kwa sababu macho yake alikuwa hajajua map ya Kenya vizuri. Mimi nataka wewe ujue map ya Kenya. Ujue kwamba hapa Narok pia ni Kenya. Na hawa kwa sababu wanalisha taifa, pia hao wazidi kulishwa kama vile wanalisha taifa. Wakati tulikuwa tunakupatia support, tulikusupport ndio ujue Kenya mzima inakaa aje. Ukizungumza saa ile umekaa kwa
former Nandi Hills MP, that is Alfred Keter, while giving his account on how he was abducted by DCI officers in the front of his wife and children, which again he just came to realize after he was taken to the police station. Now says that this country need to be transformed, and when you hear citizens saying that Ruto must go, it is not tribal. It is not tribal. And he actually says he comes from the Kalenjin community and to a specific ethnic group that the president comes from, which is the Nandi. And as I'll show you in this clip that I'm about to play, he says that President William Samoei Ruto is so incompetent, is so corrupt, lost focus and full of lies. Now, there are a lot of fake promises that the president has been giving in, and most of the church leaders have been reiterating these, that the president has continued with the culture of lies with false promises. Here is a clip to show what Alfred Keter, the former Nandi Hills MP, was saying.
We need to transform this country. When you hear people saying Ruto must go, it is not anything tribal. Some of us, we are Kalenjin. Right. And to be specific, I'm Nandi, the same tribe as William Ruto. There is nothing about tribalism here. All we are saying, they're incompetent, they are very corrupt, and they have lost focus, and they are full of lies. Even according to our bishops, they have said they are tired of these lies and promises, fake promises. They came to Nandi Hills. Let me, I have so many to talk about. They came to Nandi Hills to open up a water project. Then I saw the president posting, this water is serving, is distributed to 1,000 households. Do you know, it was only serving one household, which they connected for purposes of launching.
President William Samoei Ruto on Wednesday invited church leaders, that is after continued criticism over his regime for continued culture of lies and fake promises. Now, it's just a day after he met with the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta at his Gatundu home in terms of trying to bring Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta into the broad-based government. Now, it is alleged that we could see Uhuru's brother, that is Mo Kenyatta, into government as the CS. That is the political card that is being played. Now that President William Samoei Ruto knows clearly that he's lost the mountain, he's trying to use the so-called kingpins to try and woo back the leadership or to woo back the votes of the mountain. If you look at the whole thing of the IEBC not having been reconstituted, it's because maybe this is a vehicle that will be used to allegedly help Ruto rig elections and back into power. This is the same thing that I've been saying in my previous videos. Like in this video over here, I did talk about how Ruto is delaying the IEBC so that you could use it to rig elections. Remember, we have people who are eligible to vote right now, the people who have just taken their IDs, but without the IEBC constituted, without the appointment of the proper benches in the IEBC, you cannot register as a fresh voter, therefore delaying that registration process. And we know we have the greater number of youth who are tired with this Ruto's regime, and they are ready to take Ruto home. Therefore, Ruto wants to maintain the numbers of the already voters that he already has, whom they can manipulate. Because remember, the July 25th Maandamano was actually a teaser, and it was a warning to Ruto when the Occupy Parliament became a reality. Let me just play these clips of William Samoei Ruto meeting with these church leaders. Still on this regime, there is this issue of vaccinating our animals. For instance, how do you tell me that you want to vaccinate cows to prevent them from polluting? Because when they release that gas in the air, it has methane that is dangerous to the climate. I mean, how redundant are we to accept this kind of analogy that they are trying to force our farmers to let the fowl, their stock, to be vaccinated? Since time immemorial, animals have been feeding on whatever they feed on. They have been undergoing that biological process, which is so natural. Now you want to reverse engineer the genetics of these animals. And by the way, this is how cancer will be slowly trickling into our lives. I don't know. Am I the only one who is seeing in this century someone is trying to play with our intellectual capability by telling us we should be vaccinating our cows, our livestock, because if we don't do so, they'll be polluting the air? I mean, would you compare the gases that these livestock are releasing as compared to the airplanes, as compared to the vehicles that use petrol on our roads? Why don't we just go green instead of trying to fight nature? And by the way, this is one way that you'll find some cancerous cells trickling in. Then this guy is the same person who actually said that the world is overpopulated and that people need to produce. What if this is just another means of making sure they do birth control or population control? Get to think about it. What's your thought and what's your take about this? Give us your comment in the comment section below. If you're watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button, so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. If you're watching from our Facebook page, kindly follow us for regular updates. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the unscripted talks here in DURB Radio. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, DURB Radio ndio mpango mzima.